Hi Karen, it's Dion Johnson here, and I've just seen your post on Facebook, and I'm making this video because responding to you, I really want to respond to your questions or your concerns, and yet I've got my hands full. So I want to show you my bubba, my Elsa Grace. I am looking after her today, and so I've got my hands full, but I really wanted to talk to you at the points that you raised about cesarean section. Thank you so much for posting. It's a really interesting post. I see it's a busy thread, and I will go back and read everybody's comments, but I immediately knew that I wanted to share with you some of my thoughts around the point that you raised. I think what you're saying is that in your work, you are working with women who are struggling with dis-ease in their adult life that they attribute to their relationships with their parents or their mothers in particular, I think you're saying, when they were babies or when they were young. And you say that these issues are exacerbated by cesarean section. I don't know if you have said in the thread, because I haven't read the thread yet, but I don't know if you said how you've come to that link. I certainly don't know of that link. But here's what I do know, and I am a midwife at heart. I've been a midwife for decades, and I haven't practiced for the last 5 years or so, but still very, very much in tune and interested in all things midwifery, all things labour, birthing, mothers and babies. So I get this, and I attended many cesarean sections, many births, thousands of births in my time. And so I know this terrain, and so here's my penny's worth on this. So cesarean sections happen for one main reason, and that is that the baby needs to come out of the mother, and the mother's body is for whatever reason not ready to deliver vaginally. And so, yeah, there's a whole multitude of scenarios in that reasoning, and it's a medical decision to go ahead and have cesarean section, and there's a lot of variables in how the decisions come to and all of that, right? So I get it, but here's what I know. I know that as midwives and healthcare professionals and obstetricians and gynecologists, there is a huge awareness around this topic called medicalization of childbirth, that it's a thing, that we know that women's bodies are made for delivery, pregnancy and delivery, that we're equipped to do it, and there is an awareness that we want women to do it as naturally as possible. But medicalization of childbirth has saved a lot of lives, has helped a lot of women and a lot of babies. And so it's an advancement that we still have to learn how to manage, we still have to learn how to balance, and we still have to learn how to when to use and when not to use. So that's what I would say. And as for my practice in the room, so as a midwife in the room when cesarean sections are happening, I can tell you that bonding is something that's really front of mind for everybody in the room. So usually it is it's something that we pay attention to. We keep babies in the room, we keep skin to skin, we keep mothers and babies connected. We don't separate mothers at birth. Usually mothers are awake now when they're having cesarean section. I know that in decades gone by, everyone went to sleep, but that's just not the case anymore. So I've been at some really special cesarean section births, and I know that since I've been out of midwifery for the last 5 years or so, there are even more advancements about protocol in the delivery room, in the theatre, around ensuring that baby has as near to a vaginal birth experience as possible. So when babies get squeezed through the narrow birth canal, and then released out into the world, it really does help the baby's breathing. And so we're aware of that we need to compensate for that in cesarean sections. And there are ways that are being developed even as we speak to help that happen. But in terms of bonding, in terms of bonding, it's front of mind. So I'm not saying that there's no link between cesarean section birth and mother baby attachment. Sorry, Bubba. I'm sorry. Can I finish? Can I finish this? All right. I think, hold on a second, I'm going to pause and come back to you. Okay, so I'm back. And I can't remember where I left off, but I don't want to start the video again, so let me just recap. I think cesarean sections are definitely on the rise, along with medical intervention, and there are pros and cons around that. I think that we as healthcare professionals need to really be mindful about when we employ intervention, and there is a call for us to be mindful of not doing things that are perhaps not required or not absolutely necessary. So there is that. But when cesarean section has been decided upon, then I know that as an healthcare professional, we really do bear in mind the whole experience for mother, father, birth partner, family, and baby. We really do. And from the heart we do. And that there are innovative trends towards making the birth experience akin, as close to a normal delivery as we can. And the other thing that I would say about your point about adult women experiencing challenges that we think are probably related in some way to traumatic bonding relationships with their parents or their mothers in particular. I think that dis-ease, mental ill health, anxiety, stress is a feature of 21st century living. And I think it's complex. I don't think it can be put down to one thing. That's why I'd be really interested to hear how you have made that connection to cesarean section. It'd be really interesting to see, and I will go back and read your other comments. I just wanted to make this whilst I had a moment with Elsa Grace to make it. So I hope that these comments have been helpful. I'm really not sure what I've said on this video, but I think I've managed to express my heart. And if you have any other questions, then do go ahead. And I know that you've asked to speak to Rosie, and I would have suggested the same thing. So yeah, that's my little penny's worth. And probably if things occur to me, then I'll have a spare hand to write in the comment box a bit later on. Okay? See you later. Bye.